Please be seated. Welcome to the School of Public Policy Commencement Exercises for 2022. I'm Robert Orr. Dean of the school, and it is my great privilege to celebrate this milestone with you, graduates, your families, your friends, and to see you all in person. We're back, baby. Dear graduates, in this year like no other, with challenges like no other, you are the class like no other. Welcome, class of 2022. You have been tested in every possible way, and you have come out the other side. Congratulations. As your dean, I could not be prouder of the difference that you all have made in your time here with us. You have excelled not only in school, but in life. At the same time, I am deeply humbled by the resilience, determination, and leadership you have demonstrated in these most challenging of times. For several years, I have reflected in my commencement remarks that our graduates enter a world quite different than the one that existed when they walked through our doors for the first time. And yet, when most of you joined us, you didn't walk through our doors. Instead, you entered the biggest experiment in the transformation of higher education in our lifetimes. But the pandemic and the challenges it brought and the changes it has wrought is only the tip of the iceberg. We are in a country and a world in crisis. The pandemic has not only killed over 1 million Americans and countless more around the world, it has amplified structural inequities further and faster than we could have imagined. We have work to do. Simultaneously, we have seen the metastasizing of hate and what President Biden recently called the poison of white supremacy stalking our people and the very existence of a free and inclusive society. We have work to do. America's 250-year-old experiment in democracy is under siege, and our political leaders, institutions, and even our citizenry sometimes don't seem up to the task. We have work to do. The world burns, literally, from the fires of a hegemonic war in Ukraine and the global dislocation of energy and food supplies that has impoverished millions around the globe, to the fires of American forests, as well as other signs of unchecked climate change, systematically reducing the prospects of current and future generations. We have work to do. These crises are a clarion call to us as policy practitioners and scholars to act. The moment of crisis demonstrates the fundamental need for good policy, good governance, and good people committed to serving the public good. Yes, we do have work to do, but at the same time, we have many people, especially those graduating here today, ready to take up this challenge. We have public servants, bridge builders, ethical and humble people, innovators, bold thinkers. We have collaborators, and we have believers who see what the world can and should be, and who are working unceasingly toward a better world. Thank you, graduates, for the inspiration you have provided. The School of Public Policy will always be a place you can call home. And I sincerely look forward to welcoming you all back as alumni to our new building and your new SPP home in the coming year. Congratulations, class of 2022. Each year, the students select classmates to make a few remarks. This year's graduate students selected Adedayo Adeniyi. Adedayo earned his BS in Public Health from East Carolina University, and he was inducted as the president of the East Carolina University Youth Chapter of the NAACP. As president, he developed and implemented culture and relationship building programs to create and maintain a safe, inclusive, and flourishing community for all students. He hopes to use his degree to further elevate policy issues of environmental health, equity, and justice. Currently, he is a community health specialist at the Association of American Medical Colleges, working on local activities related to public health, health equity, and homelessness. He drafted AAMC's first public comment supporting the DC Council's resolution to declare racism a public health issue. He was selected as a Maryland Municipal League Fellow, not to mention going to graduate school during a pandemic. Adedayo, the floor is yours.
Can you guys hear me? All right, let me put my glasses on so I can see your beautiful faces. All right, thank you for the introduction. All right. Wow, okay. I'm saying wow because I'm incredibly honored to have been elected to speak to you, but I just want to start off by congratulating every single one of you on this momentous achievement. You all deserve a huge round of applause. Trust me, I know that this was not an easy accomplishment, especially as we all tried to navigate this pandemic. Online classes were difficult to adjust to. Connecting with your cohort was virtually impossible, pun intended. Mental health was down the drain while trying to dodge COVID. But I will say, I did find the ability to take a nap during class very, very clutch. I can say that, right? All right, okay, cool. I already got my degree, so I can say that. All right, cool, all right. In all seriousness, our ability to persevere and remain resilient makes this day, this moment, unforgettable. As difficult as these years have been, I do strongly believe that we are in the unique position to be amazing change makers. The pandemic was a real-life case study for all things policy. We got to analyze the social and economic impacts of the CARES Act and the American Rescue Plan, the environmental and energy impact of the lockdowns. Above all, the pandemic exposed the racial inequities in our society and institutions. We saw how the legacy of racist policies produced unequal outcomes affected nearly every aspect of life. Hundreds of years of racism have delivered poor health and economic outcomes for communities of color, particularly Black people. Everyone here has the power to bring the necessary policy changes to root out the inequities in this country. But to do so, we must first acknowledge the role white supremacy has played. And I appreciate you, Dino, for mentioning that before I got here. The same mechanisms and policies used to elevate white supremacy are the same ones we can use to dismantle it. I do understand how hopeless some may feel about dismantling this, especially given the terrorist attack that happened in Buffalo. The evil that we saw that day is incredibly disheartening and makes you wonder if there is ever a path to racial restoration. But as the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose finite hope. Yes, we are disappointed, but let's turn that disappointment into action. We must stand our ground. We must look hate in its face and tell it that it has no place in our society. We must continue to unequivocally look for justice. And so, I ask that you do not lose hope. Hope is not wishful thinking, nor is it magical thinking. Hope is an emotion, a mindset, a belief, a motivation that despite setbacks and obstacles that I know we all went through, despite hardships and misfortune, despite the unknown, you believe everything will work out. I have chosen hope. I have great hope that we will overcome these perils. I have great hope that we will someday break the chains of oppression, prejudice, and hate. I am hopeful that our society will learn from its mistakes. I asked all of you here to share the same hope. Great hope must come with action, though. We must continue fighting all social injustices. We must fight for women's rights, the dreamers, and our brothers and sisters trapped in the criminal justice system. We must continue to stand our ground no matter the obstacles we face. You all are the change makers that we need. You are exactly what the world needs. You've worked hard for this. Please put your hard work and sacrifices to good use. The degree you've received comes with great power. And remember, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm incredibly proud of you all. I wasn't able to meet all of you guys because it's Zoom University, but I'm incredibly proud of you all. We did it. Congratulations. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Adedayo, for those profound and inspiring remarks. This year's undergraduate students selected Ifeoma Ilazu. She's got a few fans in the crowd. Ifeoma is a public policy and government and politics double major from New Jersey. As a child of Nigerian immigrants, Ifeoma developed an early interest in international relations and policy reform. During her time on campus, she was the Director of Diversity and Inclusion for the Student Government Association, Vice President and Speaker of the House for Black Student Union, Community Service Chair for her pre-law fraternity, and proud member of the Rawlings Public Leadership Fellows. Outside of the classroom, Ifeoma is a writer for Forbes and interned at a nonprofit founded by General Colin Powell. After graduating, she hopes to obtain her tech certification in digital design and eventually travel the world to research gender equality. Ifeoma, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Orr, for those inspiring words and for that amazing intro. Good afternoon, friends, family, faculty, and of course, those streaming the ceremony at home. Congratulations to all my fellow graduates. Can we get another round of applause one more time for public policy grads? Nice. My name is Ifeoma Ilazu, and I will be your undergraduate speaker for today. If you don't know me, like Dr. Orr said, I'm the first-generation child of Nigerian immigrants and a Jersey girl. Before we begin our ceremony, I have just a few short words for you all. So, as graduates of the School of Public Policy, we are the future changemakers of the world. This applies to each and every one of you. Whether you initially entered UMD as a policy student, added it on later after mentally changing your major a few times, graduated in 4 years, or took some extra time to put yourself first. Whether you realize it or not, you are a change maker, and here's why. It's been a bumpy road to get to the finish line. We survived a global pandemic, online learning, and were robbed of so many special moments. I think as the policy student, the hardest part was feeling helpless. Every day we learn of mass shootings, police brutality, or restriction on women's rights. The worst part was that we couldn't do anything about it. Although these things have been tough, you all have been tougher. It's upsetting, but the only way to make up for lost time is to live in the present moment. After today, it doesn't matter what you do with your degree. What matters is if you make a difference in the world. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. And if you made it here today, imagine how far you'll go in the future. One last thing I learned during my time at UMD is that life is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't spend so much time trying to win a non-existent race, or you'll miss the view. Now go into the world and do well, and most importantly, go into the world and do good. We finally made it, y'all. Thank you for your time, and congratulations to the class of 2022. Go Policy Terps.
Thank you, Ifeoma, for those visionary and hopeful remarks. It is now my great pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Deputy Secretary of Defense, Dr. Kathleen Hicks. Dr. Hicks was sworn into her role as Deputy Secretary of Defense in February 2021, becoming the first Senate-confirmed woman to hold the position and putting her among the ranks of SPP's impressive roster of alumni in groundbreaking security roles. Prior to becoming Deputy Secretary, Dr. Hicks held the position of Senior Vice President, Henry A. Kissinger Chair, and Director of the International Security Program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. From 2009 to 2013, she served as a senior civilian official in the Department of Defense. Confirmed by the United States Senate in 2012 as Principal Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, she was responsible for advising the Secretary of Defense on global and regional defense policy and strategy. She has also served as Deputy Undersecretary for Defense Strategy, Plans, and Forces, leading the development of the 2012 Defense Strategic Guidance and the 2010 Quadrennial Defense Review, and crafting guidance for future force capabilities, overseas military posture, and contingency and theater campaign plans. Just a few minor details. Dr. Hicks, welcome home. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and those are definitely tough acts to follow. Thank you to Dean Orr for inviting me and for the very kind introduction. To you, members of the faculty, distinguished and honored guests, families, friends, and members of the class of 2022, thank you for inviting me to be with you this afternoon. It not only offers me the chance to escape the confines of the five-sided box that is the Pentagon, but also allows me to return here to an alma mater, see College Park, join you for this outstanding event in this wonderful venue and offer my sincere congratulations to today's graduates. At the outset, I wanted to note that while graduation is always a special time, I think today's ceremony holds even more significance than usual for two reasons. Number one, this is the first in-person graduation that University of Maryland School of Public Policy has held since the COVID-19 pandemic first disrupted all of our lives in early 2020. Earning a degree in higher education is hard enough, but doing it during a global pandemic is something else. And not to take anything from the class of 22, but I want to offer a round of applause, please, to the graduates from the classes of 20 and 21 who didn't have the chance to walk with their classmates due to COVID, but are joining us today. Congratulations. So number two, whether you are one of the 90 bachelor's graduates, 119 master's graduates, or 10 PhD graduates, you are part of the largest class that the School of Public Policy has graduated in its 40 years. You are joining a long and distinguished list of graduates and alumni, numbering roughly 3,400 of us, that have studied and tackled some of the toughest public policy challenges the world has faced dating back to 1982. This includes notable individuals like Ethan Brown, class of 97, whose focus on sustainability and the environment led to the founding of Beyond Meat. And my 1993 classmate, Kelly Vini Darnell, who is the COO of the Bipartisan Policy Center here in Washington, D.C. In the early 1990s, I was finishing my undergraduate degree and was engaged in that time-honored and universal endeavor of trying to figure out what exactly I was going to do as college was winding down. At the time, I was torn between pursuing a doctorate in history or doing something more in the policy realm. And I was lucky to have great undergraduate advisors. One of them really admired the then SPP dean, Dr. Michael Nacht, and the program here at Maryland. But together my application was accepted and arrived on campus in the fall of 1991. At the time, the school was located in Morrill Hall, which if you've ever seen it is quite small. Though in between my first and second years here, the program moved to Van Munching Hall, which I know the graduates are very familiar with. I actually had an on-campus job helping move books and supplies for Dean Nacht from one building to the other. And I know, as Dean Orr indicated, the school will be moving into its new home later this year. So for me, it not only makes me feel quite old, but also helps me feel like I'm completing a bit of a circle to be with you here today. My 2 years at SPP were a time of personal and academic growth. As you might have guessed from that quick bio, I concentrated in national security here. And the early 1990s were an exciting time to be on campus and studying international relations. It was a time of tremendous hope. The Berlin Wall had come down, the Soviet Union had collapsed, and after decades, the Cold War was finally over. It felt like democracy, open and free markets, and human rights were on the move. 30 years later, we face new challenges at home and abroad. But you, as has been so well described by your representatives, you are agents of change and a source of inspiration to others. We face challenges to democracy, what George Washington called the last great experiment for promoting human happiness. More and more, these challenges emanate from antagonistic authoritarian powers. The people of Ukraine are at the forefront of our minds today. Russia's invasion, its war of choice, demonstrates that it is posed to pose an acute threat to all of us. Even as we confront Russia's activities, we also know that China has rapidly become more assertive, and that it has the economic, technological, and military capabilities to threaten America's interests in the international system. And of course, we face a great number of transboundary threats, notably climate change and pandemics. Our success in meeting these conditions is not preordained, but each generation rises to its challenges, and the class of 2022 will do the same. To paraphrase Robert Kennedy, You chose not the easy path of financial success, although I wish you financial success. Instead, you and I chose public policy. Your pursuit seeks to make the world a better place by focusing on the complex problems facing our citizens and the citizens of the world. Whether you are entering government service, the private sector, the nonprofit world, or otherwise, you are well positioned to begin making a real difference in your career. As a student, I think it's natural to wonder about the value of your higher education for your career, and those who paid for it, if it's not you, may also wonder. But I'm here to tell all of you that what I learned as a student at SPP has proven invaluable, and I suspect the same will hold true for all of the graduates here. And let me give 3 examples. First, the knowledge that you've gained here will pay off. During my time at Maryland, I had the chance to take excellent classes that imparted information I still use decades later. In a course on strategy that I had with former CIA Director Admiral Stansfield Turner, I learned the fundamental precepts of civilian control of the military. As you might imagine and hope, that's critical to how I exercise my authority as the Deputy Secretary of Defense today and has been vital to my professional journey since the first day I stepped into the Pentagon as a freshly minted SPP graduate. Another memorable class was in game theory and was taught by Nobel Prize winner Dr. Thomas Schelling. That was actually one of 2 game theory classes I took here. While there is a certain transcendence to game theory, as you will know or may someday learn if you have ever entered into what I will gently term negotiations with significant others or children, it has especially significant applications to geopolitical competition. As it turns out, that's been pretty vital in my line of work as well. So, though it might not have felt like it while you were sitting in lecture, listening in on Zoom, drafting a term paper, or taking a final exam, please be assured that the knowledge you gained here will help you navigate the issues you are likely to face in your career, no matter your area of focus. Second, many of the skills I learned at SPP prove valuable in the real world. While a TERP, I sometimes felt like the majority of my time was spent drafting 1- or 2-page policy memos. Dr. Alan Schick practically drilled us in this art form. At the time, my class, and I'm sure your class, was told that having the ability to condense relevant facts, express complex issues clearly, and concisely provide a recommendation would be important to busy officials and executives. Well, let me tell you, this school is vital to every walk of life. Throughout my career, I have written countless memos for different senior officials across both major political parties and am now the recipient of a daily deluge of similar memos. Maybe your line of work will take you far from government, but I'm confident that no matter where your career takes you, from a Shark Tank pitch to op-ed writing to briefing a CEO, the communication skills you accrue at SPP will pay off. My final example of how your SPP education serves you is in how it has challenged you and left you more resilient as a student during the most impactful pandemic in generations. There were many demands on your time, real pressure to perform, and surely unusual, if not very difficult circumstances imposed on you by COVID-19. Although I wasn't trying to earn my degree during a global pandemic, I did, of course, face some challenging personal circumstances during my time at Maryland. And for me, getting through those rough patches meant relying on my family and the friends that I made here. Truthfully, the individuals that I met here remain some of my closest friends today. I'm sure that is and will be true of many of you. And as thankful as you are for them right now, you will be even more thankful for them as you advance in your fields. Whether from friendships sealed here or elsewhere, you will need a network of support to help you laugh at the absurd, console and maybe cajole you in hard times, and share in each other's joys. Just before COVID, my husband and I joined about 6 of my SPP classmates and their spouses for a weekend getaway of just such sharing. We are a pretty diverse group in terms of professional interests, from small business owner to community college administrator to labor organizer to think tanker to federal government employee. What we shared, though, was a bond made up of empathy, humor, sense of purpose, and intellectual curiosity. I can wish nothing less than that each of you finds friends and family to help you continue this journey of life, which is marked today by your incredible shared accomplishment of a degree from this august institution and a common care for the world and people that surround it. Class of 2022, congratulations on today's momentous achievement, and thank you to the friends, family, and loved ones who are joining us today. Once again, I am so happy that you are able to join here in person as a community to celebrate. The challenges that we face today are real, at home, abroad, and around the world. But because of you graduates, I am optimistic about the future. And no matter your chosen career path, I know you're ready. I know this because I once sat where you're sitting. The education that I received not only prepared me for my first job after graduating, but continues to inform me today, nearly 30 years after leaving College Park. This is a credit not only to the students at SPP, but to the institution. We should all be proud of what the School of Public Policy has accomplished these past 40 years. The world is a better place because of it, and I'm looking forward to what we can all accomplish together over the next 40. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hicks. We no longer have grades to motivate all of you students. I think Dr. Hicks's presence today and her words of wisdom are the best motivation we could give you heading out into the world. And now the moment all of you have been waiting for, graduation. We will begin with students who will be receiving the university's highest degree, the Doctor of Philosophy. To introduce our PhD graduates, let me introduce the director of our doctoral program, Professor Robert Sprinkle. Professor Sprinkle, an honors history major at Dartmouth, holds 2 doctorate degrees, because of course one is not enough, a PhD from the Princeton School of Public and International Affairs, and an MD from the University of Cincinnati. He studies clinical medicine, bioethics, health policy, bioengineering, environmental policy, political theory, and biosecurity. Professor Sprinkle.
Here I am. Well, thanks, Bob. The 10 doctoral students graduate today following years of work, from 4 years to 11 or maybe more, in a process which for each has been life-altering, but today becomes life-enhancing. Please come to the stage as I call your name, Max Bauer. Max asked if income inequality could be deepening household debt, and he found, paradoxically, that it was, as poorer households aspire to the same living standards as higher income earners. Max is now Assistant Attorney General in the Maryland Office of the Attorney General. Max was advised by Professor Carol Graham, who cannot be here today. In Professor Graham's absence, I will now award the doctoral hood. Why Juan Echenique. Juan asked if Chile's Crece Contigo early childhood support program actually worked, and he found that previous evaluations had seriously underestimated its benefits. Juan has been awarded a postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Population Health at New York University's Grossman School of Medicine. He's been advised by Professor Alok Bhargava, who's on sabbatical. In Professor Bhargava's absence, Professor Susan Parker will now award the doctoral hood. Shu Han. Shu asked how performance management, a widely adopted administrative scheme, performed when applied within U.S. public schools. And he discovered negative effects on equity and civic engagement, but saw ways these effects could be mitigated. Shu will now be a research scientist in the People, Experience, and Technology Group at Amazon's new headquarters, too. Shu was advised by Professor Toby Egan, whose daughter and wife are ill. In his absence, Professor Philip Joyce, a member of Shu's committee, will award the doctoral hood. Good. Colonel Christopher John Hickey, U.S. Army. Chris asked clairvoyantly how the United States may more effectively prevent Russia from using military force against neighboring democracies. And he found, most importantly, that strategy should concentrate on the Russian president's calculation of his own personal political survival. Chris Hickey is now an assistant professor at the U.S. Army War College. Chris was advised by Professor Nancy Gallagher, who will now award the doctoral hood. Elizabeth Mata Lorenzo is not here, but wanted to be remembered. Ellie asked if governments of resource-rich democracies with low productivity and high inequality expand public sector employment to preserve political popular support so as to avoid genuine reform, and she found that they do. Ellie works in Indonesia for the World Bank Social Protection and Labor Practice Group, and so can't be here today. She was advised by Professor Phil Schwegel, who can't be here today because he's on leave as director of the Congressional Budget Office. Jihong Liu. Jihong asked, in climate change context, if co-benefits and carbon offsets could help achieve our global sustainable development goals, and she found that the answer depended on the motivations of the firms involved. Ji Hong last month became an assistant research professor at the Center for Global Sustainability here at the School of Public Policy. She was advised by Professors Nathan Hultman and Ann Pradwarden. Professor Hultman will now award the doctoral hood. Sumin Ryu. Sumin asked if Mexico's celebrated conditional cash transfer program, Progresa, actually deserved its reputation for improving the health and growth and education of children. And she found that it did indeed deserve that reputation from 1997 to 2019, when it was suddenly terminated by the Mexican government, with infant mortality soon again increasing. Suman has been awarded a postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Epidemiology at the University of Michigan School of Public Health. She was advised by Professor Susan Parker, who will now award the doctoral hood. Xing-Chi Chen. Xing-Chi asked, in climate change context, if electrification and energy efficiency could be advanced by demand-side policies. And he found that rebates for heat pumps and informational campaigns to encourage their use were quite effective, whereas unfocused environmental events were not. Xing-Chi has been awarded a postdoctoral associateship at the Yale School of the Environment. He was advised by Yuming Lucy Chu, who's stuck in Hong Kong. In Professor Chu's absence, I will now award the doctoral hood. Jonas Elliott Siegel also can't be here today, but very much wanted to be remembered. Jonas asked if U.S. civilian nuclear cooperation in the power sector has been an effective means of achieving nuclear non-proliferation objectives in the strategic sector, in other words, for bombs. And he found that in many situations it was not effective, and he advised against relying exclusively upon it. Jonas is now the principal non-proliferation policy specialist in the Division of Strategic Security Sciences at the Argonne National Laboratory in Illinois. He was advised by Professor Nancy Gallagher, but he can't be here today as he is stuck at Argonne. Shongshen Wu. Shongshen asked if U.S. state-level differences in charitable giving, long a mystery in the nonprofit management field, could be explained by any single factor or by any combination of the factors typically recorded in databases, and he found that they could not be readily explained. Zhongchen has been appointed as an assistant professor in the School of Public Affairs at Zhejiang University, one of China's strongest institutions. He was advised by Angela Bees, whose daughter is ill. In Professor Bees' absence, I will now award the doctoral hood. New doctors, new colleagues, please stand to receive our heartiest congratulations.
Okay, sorry about that. We will now honor our outstanding master's class of 2022. Will the Master of Public Policy graduates please rise and approach the stage? The candidates for the Master of Public Policy degree are Isaac Akkad, Adedayo Samuel Adeniyi, Arnold Aja, Amira Ahmad, Logan Corday Anbinder, Joshua Ryan Averbach, Carolina Escuna, Arona Beigel, you walk this way, right? Jacob Preston Hill Balcom, Miranda Jeanne Baxter, Emily H. Berry, Rachel Elizabeth Bustamante, Aaron Michael Carell, Patrick D. Carroll, Isis Geneva Chestnut, Catherine Virginia Curtis. Cameron Dahl. Ryan Scott Dameron. Emily Darnell. Phoebe Cesarine DeVos Cole. Paul Baruch Ellis. Keelan Gallagher. Juliette Sofia Gonzalez Prieto. Vinoli Maria Gunadalaka. Ryan Scott Grimm. Paige Catherine Hawksworth. Madison Claire Holland. Eliana Claire Hubecker. Hanan Rafat Hussein. Liba Javed. Catherine Ruth Kane. Patrick Ward Kelly. Miriam Cohn. Alyssa Brooke Lennon. Emily Catherine McGinnis. Sean J. Mahoney. Diane Maldonado Sepulveda. Maggie Marsh. Duncan Patrick McNellis. Antonio Magna. Megan Irene Miller. Ikhtiar Mohammed. Arilam Marat. Andrea Mwando. Eliana Jo Newworth. Taylor Joy Newkirk. Malik Mandela Nickerson. Tanya Alexandra Otero Martinez. Samantha Ann Porzel. Martin David Rakoff. Julia Beth Ryson. Miriam Rezizaida. Carly James Ritterband. Timothy Stephen Rivard. Thomas Anwar Klaus Sadiq. Sitara Sayed. Nan Weiss Schechter. Catherine Arion Sievers. William A. Shorter. Jovia Naikairu Tugumi. Jennifer Crystal Worth. Malik Imhotep Wheeler. Jarrett Zane Williams. Sarah Catherine Williamson. McKenna Marie Wilson. Dash Yates Lonsky. Fatima Zia. Will the candidates for the Master of Public Management degree please rise and approach the stage? The candidates for the Master of Public Management degree are Scott R. Bunker, Alberto Colon Perez, Rachel Elizabeth Day, Tatiana Figueroa Ramirez, Gemily Delilah Hayek, Adrienne Messer, Stacy Ann Sauter, Gwendolyn Denise Todd, will the Master of Professional Studies in Public Administration graduates please rise and approach the stage? The candidates for the Master of Professional Studies in Public Administration are Joy Champalou, Yi Chong, Juo Chun, Shinjo Chung. Do you have a card? What's your name? What's your name? Ding Hua. Wen Li Li. What's your name? Suan Liu. Shi Liu. Sujin Liu. Jiting Song. Yuan Feng Wu. Zhengyuan Sha. Shuaohong Sheng. Wenlong Xia. Xiao Zhang. Haiwen Zhang. Congratulations and well done to our master's graduates.
All right. Of all the events, I've missed commencement the most. So it is a joy to say with the candidates for Bachelor in Public Policy, our largest class ever, please rise and come to the stadium. Hello, dear. The candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Public Policy are Manur Unjam, Ani Ambuba Anyangwe, yes, Christina Victoria Armini, Emily Doreen Baden, Jordan Taya Banks, Alexander Scott Bergman, Tori Ann Bird, Elena Marie Bleckinger, Logan Autumn Booker, Star Brianna Bottomley, Christian Robert Brando, it's hard to follow that, Elizabeth Cecilia Carroll, Gabriella Page Catanazzo, Luca Joseph Saluki, sorry, Salucci. There. Selena Chowdhury. Shannon Michelle Cleary. Emily Beatrice Cohen. Grace Elaine Dye. Jonathan Bryant Dillon. Graham Robertson Dilworth. Ariana Avery Jean Edwards. Ifeoma Alazu. Absa Fall. Amala Fatima. Alexandra Elizabeth Figueroa. Harper Lee Finley. Julia Christine Garcia. Anthony Sade Gray. Emma Julie Hammer. Where's your testudo piece? Grant Thomas Hanley. Don't miss the crowd. Rachel Ann Huber. Mahira Hijab. I love this day. Natasha Haley Hodgson. Rachel Suzanne Hunt. Casey Lee Hunter. Sarah Mackenzie Johnson. Tatiana Lachelle Johnson. Glynis Ann Kellerman. Caroline Mary Kumbam. Bryce Allen Kowalczyk. Cameron Jack Lebson. Ella J. Lederer. Tanvi Malhotra. Emerson Claire McClintock. Maeve Erin McGinley. Marie Marguerite Medoff. Mackenzie Ann Miller. Mira Sidney Morgan. Juliana Mosquera Villegas. Ellie Nicolopoulos. Yuna O. Mercedes Akomya Opoku. Julia Elizabeth Rich. Maya Bogar Rosenberg. Evan James Oberthaler. Julie Alia Ostroff. Callie Nisa Platt. Barnes Caleb Saunders. Megha Savalia. Sophia Rose Shepard. Alone Sherm Sherman. Michael Allen Shull Jr. Solomon Adair Stevens. Faith Olivia Autumn Terrell. James Darnell Turner. Alexis Yule. Yinwei Wang. Julia Dora Adele Walker. Sasha Marie Winograd. Joshua Richard G. D. Winston. And last but certainly not least, Samantha Ariel Wyans. Congratulations to the Bachelor of Arts in Public Policy, class of 2022.
How good does that feel? Not only all of you made it, but all of we made it. Thank you, faculty and staff. There's no way you would have got here without these folks. By tradition, there is one last step the graduates must take before they are truly alumni. Adedayo and Ifeoma will lead their class in this last critical step.
everybody can step up, all the graduates, please.
Everyone, go ahead, turn your tassel to the left.
This concludes our commencement ceremony. Family and friends, please remain seated until the platform party and graduates have recessed. We invite everyone to a reception to honor our graduates in the foyer just outside. Once again, a heartfelt congratulations to our graduates. Well done.